Look up CU Bands and Fans for the latest shows and bands.
Hello, everyone. This is Terry with CU Bands and Fans, and this is our podcast. This is our sixth one, and our guest today is Bill Demkov. But first, we want to put a plug in for Homegrown KIO, who sponsors our podcast. Homegrown KIO is a jam-packed hour of local music from bands originally from the CU area. Homegrown KIO is on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m., 107.9 FM. So, hey, Bill, how are you?
Doing excellent. Thanks for having me, Terry.
Good. We're excited to have you on our podcast. You have a lot of history in music, a lot of history here in the CU area. And currently, what are you doing right now?
Right now, I'm finishing up a few projects. One with Freedom Sharon. I'm producing for him. We've got a 7-song album coming out. It's really nice. We cut it here locally. Just finished one with Leighton Ewers. I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. I've known Leighton since he was a young boy, so it's been a pretty awesome honor to work with him and bring all the people in my life to his life. So that's what I'm kind of working on right now. Writing a lot of music. That's what I'm really doing a lot of. So very grateful to be doing so.
You yourself, have you written music before?
Yeah, I've always kind of co-written with Tom and quite a few other people, James Hathaway, but not really so much of the lyrics, just a kind of more of melody kind of stuff. But yeah, I've always written since probably the second, third time I picked up a guitar. It was just when I figured it out, I was like, this does this, and I probably had it in my hand for about an hour at my grandparents' house, and my grandfather came in and he said, "Billy, you keep doing that." So yes, sir. So here I sit.
And you, when I met you, which has been probably 10 years ago.
Yeah, at least.
You were at the U of I.
Mm-hmm.
And what were you doing there? Because you are an incredible sound engineer.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I was working as an audio engineer there, doing live sound, doing recording sessions, basically anything, overseeing the archive for a good amount of time. But my main function there was to support the faculty, staff, and students, and just did basically whatever they needed. And I'm very grateful to have worked there and learned so much from so much talent and all the instruments. I pretty much know what to use on about anything, even fish bowls with fizzy tabs in them. So I spent about 17 years there. And I had an opportunity to branch out, go to Nashville, and then do nationwide and even worldwide now, working with Tectonic Audio Labs. So I think it's kind of cool. There's always a train coming.
Always, I hear the train coming.
Mm-hmm.
You ever sung any Johnny Cash?
Me?
You guys ever?
I did some Johnny. Yeah. I didn't sing it, but
you could. Voice.
Probably could. I've been singing quite a bit lately.
You could totally do that.
I probably could. Yeah. Yep. The Ring of Fire. Mm-hmm.
Love it.
All right. I don't give a shit if there's a train on this thing. I'm down with it.
You roll. All right.
Okay.
You go. What are you doing at the U of I?
Yeah, I was at the School of Music there at the University of Illinois for 17 years. My primary function was to support faculty, staff, students, whoever was coming through to do classes or recitals. And then later on, as I sort of gained some steam there, I took care of all the faculty recording sessions. And there was a fantastic track there for me. I learned a whole lot about how to record, what kind of microphone to use on certain things, the gains, the mic pre's, all the stuff that, that I'm using now and adding a great value to me. So I'm very thankful for all the people there I worked with. Always going to be a bright spot in my past. And then from there, I moved on to mostly working in Nashville with Tectonic Audio Labs, and that kind of took me around the planet. I was actually I was in Hong Kong November 2019 when COVID broke out. We didn't know what was happening, of course. Came back to California. My partner, Denny, was getting sick and got really sick. And of course, we got really sick. So I came home, I spent about 2 weeks in bed and missed Thanksgiving. This thing's been really impactful on all of us. If that wasn't enough, I went out to Los Angeles in January. I spent a week and a half out there. Came home, and then I was in March. I was in Manhattan for a week and a half when it was just exploding, and they started shutting everything down. I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I mean, it was time. Got to go. I was really, at that point scared. There were been a few times in my life, touring and traveling where I was truly scared, and that was one of them. Never forget.
And especially then when we really just didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
The impact it would make, what it would do, how it would affect people health-wise. We just didn't know. So now, but how did you get involved with Tectonic? I mean, how did that happen? Did you see something that said, "Hey, we're looking for this person," or?
I did. Roy Wooten drugged me out of bed. We were doing the NAMM Summer NAMM in Nashville, and he said, "Man, we got to go check out these speakers. They are just absolutely revolutionary." And I was like, "Man, Roy, I'm so tired. We've been to everything." And he was like, "Brother, you got to get up. We're going to go see these things." And I was like, "Okay, if it's that important, we'll go." So I went down to hear them, and I was immediately like, "What are these crazy flat things?" And I'm walking around going, wow, the imaging's fantastic and the coverage is super good. And I put my ear sort of up against a really shiny brick wall, and I couldn't hear anything coming off of it. I'm walking around going, where are the reflections? Where's the comb filtering of these crazy speakers? And there was just, I couldn't find it. So I got to know the fellas from Tectonic back then, and we got to know each other quite well really quickly. At that time, I was doing some DSD recording, the highest sample rate, or not the highest sample rate, the highest recording platform on the planet at that point in time. It was 11.2 million samples per second, and 1 bit deep. I know that probably sounds crazy to you, but it is crazy. The closest thing I ever heard to analog recording in a digital format. There may be some people that argue with me, but that's where I stand on it. So I said, after a couple of days of spending time with those fellas, I said, "Hey, can I get my hands on these things? I want to do a couple of shows we got coming up." And they were like, "Sure." What kind of timeline? I said, "About a year." So they were like, "Yeah, hey, thanks for having a little bit of foresight there," or whatever you call that, insight, foresight, who knows, whatever. So about a year later, I had this was in 2014. We had Pi Day coming up at Oz in Nashville, which was 3/14/14. And they had this festival, and we had all these people from all over the world tied together. We did some incredible pieces, art. We worked with Laurie Anderson there, she was married to Lou Reed for a portion of time. Did some just incredible stuff in live surround. And the guys from Tectonic, a couple of them flew in to see me, and they were just blown away with what I was kind of doing with surround sound in live format. At that point, they just offered me a job. Well, yeah, sure. Called to quit the university. Called my wife, said, "Hey, I got a new job." She was like, "Okay, it's okay. I believe in you. Go do it." I was like, "Yeah, you little badass. I'm gonna do it. I'm jumping off this cliff. No parachute, no nothing. Here we go. I got to go." So from that day, I still have that outlook, fearless. I just have to move forward. I see what I see. I have to choose right then, right there. There's no rear view unless I need to turn around and look or reminisce or whatever. I don't look. There's no word. The word I hate, Terry, the most is but. Oh, I want to do something, but I don't have enough money. I'm just not good enough. Bullshit. Get out there. Do it. Believe in yourself. Put yourself around the people you need and get it done.
Yeah, I believe there's a lot of people that needed to hear that.
Cool. Good.
That's absolutely 100% definitely needed to hear that. And your wife, she's always been supportive of any venture that you take on.
Yeah, she's terrified sometimes. She's like, "Wow, okay." It's just crazy to be. We couldn't be more different, really. She's a Midwest farm girl, so you're all American gal, and grew up a very small town. I did as well, but I had exposure to quite a bit of stuff and, travel a little bit. So we're just very different in the way we go about things. And like I said, I make decisions quickly and get right on to it. It scares her to death sometimes, but she hangs in there. God bless her. She's wonderful.
She really does, and your son too.
Yeah.
This affects your time with him, and all that. He is now, how old is he?
16.
He is 16 with
He's like 6'3". I wouldn't fight him. No way. He's a specimen of a man. That's what I can say about him. Or starting to be a man. Very proud of him.
He's a very, very sweet kid.
I
met him when he was, young. And as a matter of fact, we were at, I think it was the Blues Fest.
Yeah, it was. Buckley Zydeco.
Yeah, and he
I remember.
Photography, so I let him come up into the pit with me and do his thing, and he did fantastic.
Yeah, I'll never forget that, Terry. Thank you so much. It's just amazing to see all my friends embrace him, and it's amazing. We had him on stage with a band I worked with for quite a while. Geez, there must have been 10,000 people, and I had him on stage throwing Huggies out to the crowd. He's like 6. And when he came off stage, I was like, "Welcome to the biz, son." He just smiled.
Yeah. Cool. And his name is Waylon.
Waylon, yeah.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know.
He wears it well. He wears it very well.
He really does. He's just a really, really great kid. You guys have done a fantastic job with him. Very mannerly.
You're making me cry, Terry.
Yeah. No, he's really cool. Okay, so you threw out a name a while ago and just bypassed it like it was nothing, and that is Roy Wooten.
Yeah, what a guy.
Tell people who Roy is, if they don't know, which is hard to believe.
Sure.
But who he is and how you met him.
I met him at the Canopy Club in the late '90s. He was Roy Future Man Wooten is one of the Wooten brothers. I think there was originally 5. Just the most incredibly talented group of fellows in the world. You have his oldest brother plays for Steve Miller. Vic, his young brother, is one of the most talented bass players on this planet. Reggie they call him the teacher. Just fantastic fellows. And I met him, and we actually did some tour dates together way back when. And there was a saxophone conference coming through the university. It was a NASA, I believe. And him and Jeff Coffin came walking in, and they were like, "Where the hell have you been hiding at?" From there, it was just like, boom, here we go, straight to Nashville, off and running. Roy's changed my life, and I've changed his likewise. We've done a lot of work together. I'm very proud of. But yeah, we've done some cool stuff together. He comes to town and he stays at my house, and him and my son and my wife were great friends, and I spent a lot of time with him. It's just fantastic. Very grateful.
Because you met him, I got to meet him.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, at St. Alley.
Yep.
And as a matter of fact, he shared his food with me.
Yeah. That's just how he is, I mean, it's amazing, Terry, and all the famous people, I will not mention them, that I've worked with, they're just people. And I've always kind of treated them like that. It's just so cool to see. And I'm grateful to have met all these people. And it's like, how in the world do you know all these people? Well, I just do somehow. That's just crazy. Yeah. And then we came to your original artist night, one of the very few, one of the first ones, right out of the gate.
Yes. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
We really had some great experiences.
Yeah, we sure have. I'm very grateful for you, Terry, and I want to say at this moment that you guys are doing, the CU bands, and are doing some remarkable stuff. Here's what I've got to say: who the hell else is doing this? I mean, you guys are supporting us so well. I just have to say, thank you. Hugs and kisses.
Well, yeah, thank you, and hugs and kisses back. We sure enjoy it. It's been, we're coming on 10 years in May.
Yeah.
So I reflect a lot right now, and this is why we launched the podcast and why we're launching the new website that we're launching. And we're just trying to we're just trying to like kind of roll with the times and create more outlets than just Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also getting our app is supposed to be launching sometime. It's been 2 years in the making, so I don't know where we're at with that. But anyway, we'll get it done. So I want to go back to there's so many things and so many points that I want to make with you and have a conversation about. And you also mentioned Tom, and that would be Tom Brim.
Yeah, Tom Brim. He's my bestie. He's my bestie. Yeah.
Tom is such a cool person.
Yeah.
And he also does a lot of, like, he's the guitar foodie, or
Mm-hmm.
you know, he does a lot of different things as well. But do both of you work together? Okay, first of all, let me back up. You guys were in Flameless Pilots together, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that is a band that is, you guys are still Flameless Pilots.
Yeah, we'll always be, I guess. Continue.
So talk about that band, like you and Tom, where you guys met, how Flameless Pilots came into being, and when that was, like how long ago?
Well, I tell you what, for me to even get the timeline right, I'm going to have to back way up to the early 90s, and we formed a band together called ZMAs. All original band. I mean, we played some covers, but we were just hardcore about getting out there and playing. And here we are in the middle of cornfields, and we intended to output music so much that if we couldn't find a gig, we would just make one. We would play anywhere. We'd put a show on at the YMCA or at the park or wherever. We would play at the freaking bowling alley. We didn't care. And we did. We were hardcore about it. We started a music festival that went on to have great success, and we're able to bring in enough to fund our CDs. And we had CDs in the early 90s. That was a big deal in down in Mattoon, Illinois. Boy, we had from Sony funded 100%. We had our own. Yeah, it was just so fun. It's out of the trunk of a car. I remember it came right on my birthday, which is over the 4th of July weekend, and I think we sold something like 500 or 600 records just that weekend. It's like, wow, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Somehow we were always on the brim of, right there, but never quite did. I still have to say, with all pride, that band and the players were as good as anyone anywhere. I mean, we practiced 4, 5, 6 nights a week. If we were playing out, we did. Young, strapping men. We had such a good time. I just, it shaped me for who I am. It made me into who I am right now. I'm so happy to have been a part of it. So we did that. Many different sprouts and people that came and go. Probably 20 different musicians that came into there. I wish I could name them all. So in that, all bands someday come to an end. So that had, and geez, I'm trying to think of when. I think early 2000s, maybe sometime around when my son was born. So it would have been, 04, 05, somewhere around there. Tom and I just said, hey, we're gonna start doing this stuff. We have just hard drives full of stuff we've recorded together. So, or written. I mean, there's just so much. When we die, there'll be just so much stuff nobody ever wanted to hear. I mean, seriously, there's tons. So we were like, what the hell are we going to do with all this stuff, man? And so we decided, hey, let's get some recording equipment. Let's put it out there. We worked and lived together in Mansfield, out of 20 miles from here, and just built this kick-ass little studio. Just awesome tracking spot. So we start recording, and that was the great thing about working at the U of I. The jazz series would come around, and I'd call Tom and be like, Tommy, got us a new drummer. This kid's crazy good. Josh Hunt, we pulled him out of there. Jay Ferguson, we pulled him out. Josh went on to do some just incredible stuff. One of my favorite drummers anywhere to play with, and just great. So we started that. We went to Sun Studio and recorded a record. What an honor that was. Someday I'll tell you more about that one. And then we just kind of brought in players. People that we worked with in the past with ZMAs, and it was just kind of a passion project for us. We never really wanted to try and make money. I mean, who the hell's making money off of music? If you figure it out, please call me. Please give me a call, and I'll come work with you anytime. We did some touring, some with Future Man, but mainly it's just, we just old farts now. We record in the studios, go to Sun. We record a lot at Blackbird. I'm extremely lucky, fellas, to do that. We are actually now, Tom was like, hey, let's mix it up a little bit. I was like, sure, let's do it. He was like, a new name. He was kind of going on this, the dude kind of, I can't remember the name of the movie, but the dude, you know who I'm talking about, Jeff Bridges. So he's like, I want to call it Calm Vrem. I was like, hey, it's your money, dude. You call it whatever you want. And we actually, that album was amazing. I think I sent you a bit of the first half of it. It's all kind of a contiguous thing, it starts and goes and goes and goes. And there are some players on that one, man. Roger Waters' son's playing piano on it. Tiffany's on there. Yeah, that Tiffany, she's on it. Just amazing stuff. The steel player, Josh Hunt's on that one too. Future Man's on it. It's just crazy good. It's going to come out on vinyl here soon. We're just about ready to go, and I'm sure it'll go aluminum. We'll sell at least maybe 10. You know what? If we do or we don't, it doesn't really matter to me. We're making a friggin' vinyl, and I'm down with that. I think it's just super cool.
I am too. I'm excited to get to be able to, when that's done, to be able, because I want one.
Yeah, sure. Like that'll probably come off of a site or somewhere. I'm sure we will tour that one a bit in the in the fall this year as we did last. It was it was a lot of fun. There we go, the Chet Atkins burp. I mean, I just don't care. We'll probably do a bit of touring then. Opportunities. We better. We're getting old, and it sure is fun. I like to get up, play live, and I've been playing. I don't know, 2 or 3 hours a day. Mainly this little sweetheart right back here. That one. Play it a lot. My fingers are so sore. Yeah, I just love it.
We had a phone call the other day, and is that what you were playing?
Yeah, that one.
And I was like, well, that's different than what you typically play.
Yeah.
So what is that? Is that just
a Tacoma? I think it's a Chieftain. I don't even remember. It's always this is the most lit up my studio's been in probably a year. I'm usually down here in the dark. It's a time warp, this place, and I think I'm going to call this studio Time Warp because people come here and it's like 15 hours later, and people are like, "What in the hell happened?" We just sit and listen to music, and we hang out, and it's some of the most cherished times down here. Just great conversation, and some fantastic music is made here. It's crazy. I start a little studio in the basement. All these freaking instruments show up. Like it's just filled up with all this cool stuff. If you ask for it, it comes for you. It comes to you. Just be careful, Played a lot of guitar, a lot.
I knew that you did a lot of stuff in that space that you're talking about, and it's where you are right now for those that, visually can't see this that are listening. I knew you did a lot in that space. So you're actually doing a studio there?
Well, I mean, it's kind of a finisher, so I'll track wherever in Nashville or wherever, and then come here to finish and do overdubs. And with my, I got my Tectonic speakers. I don't need any room treatment or any of that crap. I don't need it. So I just can do whatever I want down here, keeping it small. I can do a drum set or, something like that. I'm not trying to do a band. I have to get a drink here. I could do a little power trio down here or something, but I tell you, I've got to move it out of here because I'm making my wife and my son just absolutely crazy. There was a young lady I started working with not too long ago, before Christmas, and I wanted some backups to sing this thing for freedom. Excuse me. I hear this girl sing, and she's got like natural distortion on her voice. I'm like, come on with me. So we start working together. She comes here. She'll leave for 3 days. I mean, we just worked together for 3 freaking days, and my love, my family, they were just like, hey, we're going to wrap this up. I was like, yeah, we're on our last tune. That's music. That's when I know I got the right one. I can't run you off. I can't chase you off. I don't even feed them and they keep coming. So that's when I know they're that stubborn. They want to go. And she'd call me like a couple of days later. Hey, I want to do some more stuff. What you got? Like we said, simmer down. So I did some stuff, sort of electronic stuff. I'll have to send it to you, Terry. I think I did. It's not at all what you think coming out of me.
You did send it to me, and it is nothing like what I would expect from you, or typically what I have received from you.
Yeah.
It is really, really different.
Very different. Almost like Gloria Estefan or something, the way the rhythm works. And I'm trying to take some different paths, I've done the rock thing. I've done the jam band thing. I did the progressive shit back in the early 90s, Who the hell needs that? I've done all that. I've done all of that. So I'm trying to simplify. That's what I'm doing. Just play simple riffs, make it nice and light. All the stuff my pastime, when I'm not making music or something, I'm sitting, chilling with my favorite people. I just want my favorite people around me. And we look on YouTube or wherever else, and I'm looking not for the million hitters, I'm looking for people that got 10 hits. And then I watch them. And you know what, man? You know how I am. I get a hold of them. I'm like, hey, I like this stuff. Where are you at? What's up? Let's be friends. Let's do stuff. Let me send you some. What do you need?
I love that you do that. The lesser known, lesser heard.
Yeah.
Kind of like browsing that and going, this one, this potential right here, let's do some shit.
Yeah.
And that's, you seem to always been that way, even though you are surrounded by infamous people, and you have a lot of connection with a lot of people that are nationally known and famous, and all of that stuff. But you still, that never goes to your head. You're an extremely talented human being. You have creativity that just explodes out of you.
It just falls off. Yeah.
So many different directions that I believe I asked you the other day, how do you hone that in? Because literally you go in so many different directions at any given moment. And you do it well. It's not like you're just like, it's not like it's a distraction. Like you get distracted by these other different areas. But you just all of it is like you're the center. I don't know, you just give out these vibes of such creativity in so many different areas. I guess there's so many different levels.
Yeah, I really appreciate those words, Terry. I really do. It's crazy. It's like sometimes being in the center of a tornado. It's a beautiful mess. I don't know. Sometimes there's a couple points I want to make. The first thing I was going just to touch or finish off on what I had said earlier. Just the last thing. When you want to meet someone, that you admire, whatever, do a little research on them. Find something out. This is my advice. If I say one thing, maybe listen to this. Offer them some help. Say, I would like to help you in some way. Can I get to know you? Will you work with me as well? I have this to offer you. And then you're not asking them, don't just go, hey, how are you doing? Can you, I'm a real big fan. Well, no, you can do that if you like. But if you offer them something, even if it's positivity, they're going to be inclined to engage with you. If there's maybe say it's a screenwriter or something. Hey, I really love this part of the movie, whatever. How the hell did you come up with that? Well, they're going to want to tell you that. Right? How do you answer? Well, hey, how's it going? Well, I'm busy. I'm good. Poo on that. No, I'm just, I don't know everything, but I know that works. So that's all I got on that one. Creativity for me, it comes, and the more I do, the more it comes. And here's what I do: I sit down. I'll be playing. I'll be thinking. I get in my head. Here it is, and then I pick up an instrument. And it's not something I'm embarrassed of. If I mess up, fine. It's opportunity to do better, right? I just keep doing. And I think to myself, just come in. Come on. Come to me. Come on. I'm asking for it. I'm playing. I start warming up, and it comes. There's never a time that I have really picked up an instrument where I wasn't of mind to do so, and something didn't come when I asked for it. Now, when I try to force it out, and try to bang that out or whatever, especially lyrics, ain't going to happen, So I just keep it on. If the vibe's on, I'll be up 24 hours or more. I'll just do it. If I'm in the creative, I stay in the creative. I'll sleep later. I don't give a shit. We're here for a very short amount of time as human beings. And I must say this in all of my being, Terry, I've got a lot to do before I die. I got to get it out. I got to do it. I have to. I don't have time to sit and watch television. I'll do or will, but very little. I just got so much shit to do. I just do. And I reach out to people somehow. I guess one of my friends said, you're an empath. sometimes I just know. I'll reach out. I'll be like, I need to touch her. I need to talk to her. And I do. And it might be an odd hour, whatever. Something tells me I got to talk to this person.
Always been an odd hour.
Yeah. Well, that's me. I'm odd. I am. I own that. 100%.
Yeah. For those of you that, and I, in the beginning of all of this, I would be up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I would be out at those times, just music and just everything. But, I think 2020 just set me back as far as that goes. And then, I've got a granddaughter now and all those things. So I'm a little more structured, I think, than I used to be, which is fine because that works for now. But you definitely, you function when you function, and you don't go by a clock.
No, never. It really doesn't matter to me. Time and space. Congratulations on the little baby. Wow. That has to be awesome.
Another one coming in May.
Oh, wow. That's just incredible.
Best thing ever.
Congratulations. Well, you know what it is, I think, I think it kind of came to me when you had recapped when we got to know each other. And you know what? I am a bit odd, and I do reach out to people. I'm just not shy. And that's the thing about Facebook that I love. You can say hello. It's okay to say hello. It is social media. You're supposed to. Now, it's weird if you get a message from some dude at 4 a.m, unless it's polite and kind, right? But what I think it is for me is that it's a quiet time. There's not all these brain energies and crazy wackadoodles going on. There's just so much busy going on in the daytime for me that it's just, I don't know. I choose to sleep through it unless I got to be up. I just like to focus in and really just kind of come inward and do what I like to do and get it done. And I can't change it. I couldn't change it. I can't. And other people like Roy, just like that.
Yeah, anybody that knows that.
Yeah.
And so I know, like, if my phone pings and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and it's you, I'm like, well, okay, Bill needs something. He's got some ideas going, or he's in a flow. And so anybody that knows you knows that you could get a phone call or a message at 3, 2 a.m. Whatever.
All the time. I'm often on the phone at 4 a.m, 3 a.m, having, laughing my little ass off. That's the thing I always did love about you, Terry. We laugh and laugh and laugh. We see the humor in the littlest things, and I never felt like I had to be less than just myself with you, and just, it was always great vibes, just giggling, and you bring out a silly side of me that I just love, and other people do too as well. So thank you for that.
We have definitely had some conversation where we've laughed till we cry.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's been a great relationship with you, excellent friendship, and a great connection. And you've been more than kind to us when we had the CU Bands and Fans annual events. You, as a matter of fact, I believe, brought some tectonic speakers to our event that we had at Fat City Center.
Yes, I did. I did.
And that's what we use for sound. You managed some sound too for us, and everybody sounded amazing. I mean, it was outstanding.
Thank you.
We appreciated your giving of your time and setting that up. I mean, that takes a lot. So it's very much.
I can't not do that stuff. I have to get out and reach out. I just have to. That's how you make friends. And it was remarkable to me in that place with the crazy weird ceiling in there. It's tough to get sound in there. We sure did it. But the reason I do that is because I meet people, and they, some of these people I'm with forever. Forever. They're always my friends, and I help them and extend that always. You need something, you got it. You got it.
So relationships are obviously high on your value list, and but you are a bass player.
Yes, I am.
I don't think we've mentioned that yet, but you are a bass player.
Thanks.
And for those of you that cannot see right now, he's got several bass guitars behind him.
Let me see if I can get this unbuttoned. I can't get myself dressed today. and these little buttons really give me troubles. Oh yeah, there we go. So I have one of these, or one of these on each forearm. It's one here, and it's funny. A very good dear friend of mine, Michael Turner, is down in Nashville making drums, unbeknownst to me. And lo and behold, these F-holes, and I mean exact match, turn up on his drums. And when Roy and I get together, he's like, "Hey, put that down there next to my bass drum. Just do yourself a favor, look up Roy Wooten's drum kit. It's one of the most innovative things that's out there. His kick drum is, instead of firing forward, is upright, so he plays it from the bottom and the top. He was like, I always wanted to get a hold of that real estate out there. So now he's doing it. And then, that's how this works, this universe, man. We're connected. We are connected. So that brought us immediately just like, whoa, we're homies now. And I thought when I was getting these damn tattoos years ago, I was like, oh, this is going to look so cool on stage. You know what? When I'm playing a guitar, you can't see them. Dumb. Yeah, it's a bass player for you. That's just the way it goes. Yeah.
What's your favorite bass there?
This one here, the little green, the green guy back here. I've played it. Let's see if I break this thing, I'm gonna die. I've played this bass so much that I wore a hole in it with my thumb. You see that right there?
Holy cow!
Bass from my thumb. What's that?
How long have you had that?
Probably 91, 92. I handed this to Vic, and he was like, cool spot there. I was like, yeah, that's my buddy.
Yeah, so that's your number one right there.
Yeah, it really is. I've tried to go elsewhere, but it just does it for me,
When did you purchase that? Did you purchase that?
A funny story. Well, it wasn't funny at the time. We were playing this like collaborative gig with a bunch of other bands, and I don't remember what happened. I got into it. I'm not much of a fighter. I'm more of a lover. But I got into it with this guy that was putting this thing on, and I didn't. We didn't come to blows, but it was damn close to it. So I get kicked out. It's colder than the hell, but Jesus out. I'm out there. I couldn't even get my leather coat. Nothing. So I had this killer leather coat from Harley in Milwaukee, like the bee's knees of coats. My bass, my shit got stolen, all of it. 2 days before we're cutting our second album. Freaking out. Or maybe it was 3-4 days, okay? And I didn't have any money. I was, as poor as all hell. And 2 very dear friends of mine gave me the money, and I went and bought this bass. It was, $2 grand or something like that. A pretty good chunk of money for me. And these 2 gals, I'm forever in debt. I'm very very close with them. Always will be. And I tried to give them the money back, and they were like, no, that's yours. Thank you for what you do. I was like, wow, that's like,
story.
Yeah, yeah. Be nice to people, and do the best you can. They'll blow you away sometimes. Everyone. You don't have to be a musician. Just be a good person.
Yeah, definitely. So what else you got going on? How often do you go to Nashville?
Not often enough. What I'm doing right now is going through my. You'll dig this. I'm going through all my photographs. When we met, I was taking freaking pictures of everything, anything.
Okay, so let me just say this before you continue. Is when we met, and I checked out your photos, and also you did a video on, I think it was in Memphis.
Yeah, the blues doc.
Yeah, so you showed me that video, and I was completely impressed and very mesmerized by the way you did the video, and just the whole context of it, and also the way that you photograph, because you're a natural light. Always
gotta be.
Yeah. So you have this great way great eye too of seeing this natural light in either the woods or rivers or sunshine, whatever it is. So yeah, you're pretty great photographer as well.
You know, I do it with intention, Terry, as do you. Thank you. You are yourself. You are too. Yeah.
Thank
So you remember the cow? I was driving out to the barn in Monticello to do a barn festival, and there was a cow standing in the middle of this pond. And I sent you the picture on Facebook, and I was just like, "Fucking cow," and you're like, "Oh wow." I mean, I don't even, that's all. What else can you say, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Sorry, kids. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. I do what I want. I do what I want. So I was the way I look at view. You hear that thing? The way I view recording, capturing an acoustic guitar, a bass, a piano, a violin, natural light, the sun, the cow, all of it is I treat it the same way. Like I just look and look and look, and I wait and hear and listen, and that one moment, bam, I get it, and it turns out good, especially with light. Like I waited in the middle of a freaking delta with flip flops on for 3 hours to get this tree shot because I just saw it. I got it, but it wasn't the glory that I thought it was going to be. But I'll never take those moments back. There I was, under a levee, just cool stuff.
So you're being a bass player too, like timing's important.
Yeah.
And obviously with you, timing is important. It's like I'll wait. That's it. I'm striking. And whereas I'm, especially when it comes to photography, is
you got time for that.
I see it visually. I already see the photo.
Right. Yeah.
Before I take it, I'm like, well, this is what I want. This is, so frame it up and, so I don't know. That's how I see it.
No, I've watched you in wonderment. Watched you do it, just like, bam. I love that. I've been very fortunate and spoiled. I'm a studio rat. I have the luxury of doing all that silly shit. And I love it to death. I do. So what I'm doing right now is messing around with NFTs, which just fascinate me because it's like, what the hell is that thing? Well, they're not that hard to make, and I've got oodles of photography, and I'm treating. If you go to my Facebook home page, you'll see one of the ones I did a treatment of. It was a picture I took in the Florida Keys. It was like that golden light. I'm waiting, and there's a damn sailboat. Oh man. So I'd start taking, how I do in bursts. Like I'll take a bazillion pictures of it just to get that one. I don't care. I'm shameless. The curious guys are like, yeah. And I'm like, well, hey, you know what? I got it just the same. And I got plenty of storage on my hard drives. I'll go to Walmart, get another one.
I love that. I got it. So,
I got it. I keep them all. I still have those. I love every one of them, even the blurry, stupid ones. So, go to my Facebook page and have a look at that thing. I want to make art, and here's what I'm going to do. It's ridiculous. This is probably maybe arrogant. Okay, I don't care. I'm going to ask like $5,000 for that sucker. You don't want to buy it? Fine, I'll keep it. I don't care. I'm not messing around, man. We need to make money for our talents. We need to be bold enough to go, hey, yeah, give me $1,000 for that. Well, it's a picture of a toe. I don't care. That's my toe. I want $1,000 for it. You don't want to buy it? Cool. You know what I mean? I said I want us as us creatives, get out there, be bold, man. Just say, hey, I'm going to give you that. If you don't like it, great. And you know what? Somebody just may do it. And if they don't, who cares? But if we don't value ourselves, then there ain't nobody gonna, and that's what I've seen the world do. And I'm very proud. A lot of people, we scrambled and we didn't know what to do. We came out of the shock, and all of us really, I'm very proud. We went straight, look at any musician that had the wherewithal or the cash or any kind of means to do it. We went straight to the studio. We create. And, if there's one thing that came out of this thing as a positive, you got to look for the positive and even the worst of negatives. It's an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity to grow. When something bad happens, this is an opportunity for you to step up and do something. Just something. Just do it.
That's a very valid point because our first 3 podcasts were with bands that fairly new. They got set back by COVID, and they went right to the studio.
Yeah.
And they produced some really great music.
Yeah.
And a lot of, but like you said, almost everybody went to the studio, and or they were doing some live streaming, the best they could.
Yeah. No, the output was incredible.
They weren't going to let this music sit, and
yeah.
And that was fantastic. I mean, a lot of good music came out of that. And a lot of people are just now also launching a lot of their work, and so we're trying to keep up with that. Like it's such is launching this, and their CD's being released now, and this CD, and there's a lot of it.
I know it's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful for having been a part of it, being out on the road for a better part of 3-4 years. And I mean, I was out on the road. I'd come home for a couple, 3-4 days and be right on an airplane, man. It was thrilling. It was exciting. It was exhausting. It was one of the most lonely things I'd ever done, living in hotels. But I met some of the coolest people. If you just look up and say hello. I met this person on an elevator just by saying hello, and I'm dear friends with them. And that was probably almost 7-8 years ago, just for saying hi, and this person's like, holy cow, they're a force in my life, but yeah. And the one thing you had said, I think it was, who was it? I was watching the interview. Maybe it was Lee and the fellas. That was good. That was really good. Saying that, the one thing that it did for us, Crazy Vampires, is we get to get out and do it a little earlier, and get home to the family and get just a little more productive time. So, yeah, who knows what we're going to do? We're going to keep on, we're going to keep on doing always.
I think we're going to have I feel like we're going to have a good summer.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's going to be a lot of music and just like everywhere again. So I'm really looking forward to that. And obviously for this weather to freaking warm up. But aside from that, what is your best moment in music that you can think of? You've had a lot of good moments, a lot of great moments. But is there anything that stands out that's like, this is everything right now?
Yeah, there have been many, Terry. There have. The most impactful thing on me, I was doing a festival in Peoria that's been going on since the 60s. And I was out, like, there was a band, and people were jamming all around and all over the place. And there was this cool A-frame cabin. And I just found my way out to it, and there was a band out there. That's how I found it. It was sort of lit up. It was super cool looking thing. And I'm out there, and there's people I've known for years out there. They're like, yeah, we knew you'd show up out here. So we're just having a cool time, and I hear this familiar voice say, "Hey, Bill, hey, can I talk to you for a second?" I knew who it was. I knew I had heard that voice before. I've been. I don't know if it's blessed or cursed with a partial photographic memory. So if I got something in there, boy, it's in there. It's just stuck in a box. It'll take me. So anyway, this young fella says, "Hey, man, I wanted to thank you. That you saved my life." I was like, "What? What?" I was like, "Man, when I first saw your band and started coming around, seeing what you were doing, and you guys were touring around and offering what you were offering," he was like, "I was in a bad way, man. I was on heroin and I was doing real bad stuff, and I was, in and out of jail. And when I saw what you guys were offering to people and doing these festivals and starting this stuff, this young familiar voice is talking to me in the dark, and he says, that he was, when he met and became exposed to our band and the festivals we were doing, and then seeing how we followed up, and we're just coming around and just offering assistance and helping and playing and providing stuff for musicians, that he was really a bad off on drugs. He was on heroin and he was going straight down, but he found, so he started playing music. He started singing. He's a singer, started singing and found, what do you call it? Reverence, or he recovered. And, and he said, "Man, I'm here today because of what you guys did. And I really want to thank you." I was like, wow, wow. This guy, he's like hugging me. He's in tears. One of the most proud moments for me that I never knew I did,
Yeah, that tears right
Yeah,
now.
man, it makes me really, it makes me, chokes me up. There's been a few that was like, there was another one when I was first working with Sam Williams. Not first working with him, but I had an opportunity to come home, And I took Melissa and Waylon, and we had some killer seats and just hanging with Sammy and stuff. And we're backstage, and Chris Stapleton comes off stage, and he comes and stands sort of next to us, and his wife walks right by and sort of looks at Melissa and smiles and waves at her, And Waylon looks up at me like, "Yeah, Dad, yeah, that's cool. That's cool." Very proud moment.
Yeah. When you talk about that A-frame out in, I don't know what area that was, but it reminded me of when you had sent me some photos or something and a message, and you were like, "This is where we're freaking out right now." And what were you doing? You were out in the freaking woods somewhere.
I was at the tent. Oh, yeah, it was like a tent at the Omega Lab. Yeah, so this place is called the Omega Lab. Robert McLean Jr. was the proprietor of this place. One day, I don't know, Future Man came, as we did. We always kind of get together, When I'm in town, man, we just get together almost every day or any time. We do. We just get together. He had to go off out of town, fly out somewhere. He's like, "Hey, man, you're going to go to this coolest place in Nashville, coolest studio facility you've ever been to." I was like, "Right on. I believe you." Cool. So he gives me the address, and it's out in the hills, outside of Nashville on 40. And so we show up. We didn't know a soul, right? But Future Man made the call already and said, "Hey, my guys are coming." We show up, and it's on top of I guess it would be classified as a small mountain. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. And we're driving down this rock drive and looking like, what the hell is this place? We come rolling up on this tent, and it is like two tents mushed together. One of them is a large, sort of big green tent. And then behind that one is a military, like industrial tent that's made, its original purpose was to service in the field the A1 Abrams tank for the military. So this is freaking tent, right? 25 feet tall, something like that, 100 and so long or whatever. So we go walking into this thing. The first person I meet is very kind, and he says, "Yeah, we knew we were coming. Come on in, and we'll kind of show you around." So you walk in, there's this like 60s Mustang sitting there, just hadn't been touched in years and years. And there's all this stuff, and we're walking through the tent. It's like, this guy's garage. We get through, and then it's like, this is a cool little sort of living room almost. It's like glass, you can see outside, you see all the trees. It's like, yeah, right on. You hear the music playing. You walk through the next stage of the tent, and there's this really badass wood stove, like old school, like I'm talking like cook stove. Oven and fryer kind of cast iron thing is killer. And the kitchen. So then I'm here, looking, and we get it, and finally into the production side of things, and it opens up, and there's Alicia Michelli singing. The gal won The Voice that year, and like all these people. I'm looking around. There's famous people everywhere. I'm like, what in the hell is going? This is right. This is my vibe right here. I ain't leaving. So I'm walking in. This fella had when the flood happened in Nashville, went around. He was smart enough to buy out the IMAX speakers from a theater down there. There wasn't a thing wrong with them because they were mounted up in the air, but insurance, whatever, stated that they had to get rid of them. So my boy Robbie bought these damn things. Didn't buy the network pieces for them. But this guy is like freaking genius, man. One of my favorite people on this planet. I tell you, if he needed one of my fingers, he could have it. Really, I'd give it to him. What, not off my left hand though. Fuck that. He could have this pinky. It's all messed up anyway. It's just all crooked. He could have that one. So Robbie figures this all out, right? And he didn't have any power down at the tent. There was a main house about maybe 100 yards up, and it was Dad lived in this, it's like octagon-shaped killer little house. So he runs some power down. I'm talking like 40 amps of power. Not even enough to do much. He figures out how to run this whole thing off of car batteries and like car stereo amps. So he's running this whole IMAX thing off of deep cycle marine batteries, a battery charger, and keeps it like the minimal possible. Well, I'll tell you something. I'm a pro engineer, been around the world. Car stereo amps that are built properly sound freaking killer with pro audio. Just killer. So develops this whole thing. When he's at full tilt, lights and everything going, he pulls less than a hairdryer. Less than a hairdryer. I'm talking rocking hard. So it's all surround sound. It's right up my alley. A 20 foot by something Lucas approved screen, like acoustically transparent. So then there's like left, center, right, IMAX. These things are like, 15 feet tall. The subwoofer cabinet was so big, I could walk into it. It's just the most incredible thing. So immediately I'm like, man, we got to be friends. So I'm offering to Rob. I was like, hey, I've got these amps. We can do some work together. So immediately we start working together. I didn't leave there, I don't think, for a week. I stayed there a whole week. It's just incredible. And there we just embarked on the most awesome recordings ever. And then I bring him into my fold. We're still super tight. We've done all kinds of projects. The most natural sounding kind of situation that you can get. Now you think, you're in a tent, it's going to sound awful. Well, no, it sounds really good. It's remarkably kind of dead. Just being out there, you hear the wildlife, you hear the frogs, you hear the crickets, you hear owls, you hear everything. And you capture them on the recording, but it doesn't impede really. Now a chainsaw, something like that down the valley, that's not fun, but you just roll with it, right? You just say, what the hell? We take a break.
What was this event created for? Is this something they do every year?
It was, let me think about it was a radio show they did out of there. It would broadcast. It was a blues show. I feel so terrible that I can't remember it right now. I will, you know what? If we do liner notes or anything for this, I will put, I'll get it to you.
A pleasure having you on our podcast. I really appreciate you taking time out to do this with us. And so we look forward to having this. Post will be posted this evening, actually, because we like to try to do it on a Tuesday and be consistent with 6:30 publishing time. So again, thank you. This is Bill Demkov. You can find him on Facebook, Bill, Demkov, Bill Demkov. And thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Terry. It's an honor. It just makes me so happy. And I just will end off on this. I send all my good energies to all these creatives that we touch. And if this happens to touch your ears or your eyes, and you need advice, if you need assistance, if you need whatever, someone to talk, reach out to me. I won't let you down.
Find Bill on Facebook. Make that connection, and just contact him. He's just very real guy, very genuine, extremely creative, and has a lot of ways to kick in some opportunity for people. So
thank you.
Our singer-songwriters here, usually have, and so that's a good thing. So it's great seeing you. I hope to see you soon in person, and take care. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, you too, Terry. Bye.